Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to look at two additions to my Silvertone family, so stick around. The latest addition to the GTone Silvertone family. A Silvertone bass guitar. Goodwill score. I think I was the opening bid and I won it on the opening bid, so it was dirt cheap. Even the shipping was cheap. Seen some love. There's a paint fix right there. Pick guard. Still has the original plastic on it. This pickup needs a little adjustment. This is a pretty simple volume tone. And it's missing a string, of course. That's okay. I got a set of strings to go on it. Check these out. So I said, hey, I need some strings for my new bass that's coming. And the very first result that I got when I searched for bass strings was Silvertone brand. So I had to get them. So these are going to go on the Silvertone bass guitar. Now, if it's anything like my other Silvertone guitars, it's probably a plywood body, and that's okay. It's heavy like one. I'll be taking this apart and cleaning it up and putting it back together, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll see this guitar in action. But I want to take a moment to talk about Silvertone and why I like them so much. And this makes my fourth Silvertone in this particular family. Very first one that I ever bought was this one right here. Silvertone Strat style, not a Silvertone Strat. You know what I mean? Silvertone Strat, and it was a typical out-of-the-box Strat with a white pickguard with white knobs and the 3 single coil pickups like on any standard Strat. I don't like standard Strats. I don't like that 3 coil layout. I don't know why. I like Telecasters, but not Stratocasters. Go figure. So this one I swapped it out and put in a pair of Soap Bar P90s. This was my first ever P90 guitar, so it really got a lot of love. It's got the strap locks. It's permanent in the collection. Love this Silvertone. It plays great, has a neck that's very comfortable, and that's why I like the Silvertone brand. Great platform for modification. Now, Silvertone number 2 in the collection is again a Silvertone Strat that has gotten modifications. Modification number 1 was to remove the standard Strat pickguard with the 3 pickups. This one came with, again, with a white pickguard, white knobs, and it looked like a goat's ass. It was horrible looking. So this got a new pickguard, black, with 2 humbuckers and a hot rail humbucker in the middle. So a 3 humbucker guitar, and I added a coil split switch down here that only works for the center one, but it gives it a nice tone shift on either side if you're using it in the 2 or the 4 position, or even in the center. It almost sounds acoustic when you hit the coil split. Volume tone, I put some witch hats on there. I think it looks really cool, and this is one of the few guitars where the trem works without whacking it out of tune. Might have something to do with the Fender saddles that I put on it. It's a really good guitar, really fun to play, and yes, it is plywood. You can take a look right in there. You can see it's definitely plywood construction. Nothing wrong with it. I love the neck on this. It's like a walnut stain. You know, it's not roasted maple, I'm sure. I'm sure it's just a stain. But I love the Silvertone headstock. Again, a great platform for modification. This leads me to my latest acquisition from Goodwill. Again, this was an opening bid purchase. Just give them to me, okay? This is a Silvertone Strat with the headstock that I love so much. These headstocks I just think are beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with the Silvertone brand name, so I play it proudly. This one has the exact same neck feel as this one right here, so it's comfortable. And again, this is what they all seem to come with when I get them, is this terrible white on white on white. White on white. These saddles look pretty sloppy, so maybe I'll get a set of those fenders for this. But for this one, I have a black pickguard with 2 humbuckers, and instead of the humbuckers, I'm going to put some GFS Mean 90s. So these will be humbucker size P90s chrome. I think these will look really good on a pretty much blacked out guitar. I've got some black locking tuners I'm going to put on here too. I think it's going to be a really good contrast, a little shine just where I like it. Just got to find the time and put forth the effort to do it. But I will, because I do love the Silvertones, and this is going to be a great one to add to the collection. The Silvertone bass, I'm not a bass player. I'm probably the guy in the band who they wish was the bass player, so I wouldn't play guitar. But having a bass is going to be cool. Hopefully you'll see me using this in future videos. Make some backing tracks with my own bass lines. I can feel it already. You know what? I really just want to plug it in and see, just make sure that it makes noise. You know what I mean? Well, let's do that. And I'm actually playing through a bass amplifier that I got on Goodwill, and it looks to be a 15-inch speaker in it too. I'm really surprised. I thought it was much smaller, but it seems to be a full-size amplifier. I believe I got it so cheaply because it was not working. The not working part was the potentiometer for the volume was so full of crud that no matter what you did, it wouldn't work. Gave it a good spray down. Post side only, mind you. I didn't even take it apart. I just did the post side. You know, squeaked some fluid in there. Give it some twist. Works like a champ. So I will take the amplifier apart and clean it up real nice and clean the pots real nice. But for now, bass amplifier for under $10. These pots will need some cleaning. So it works. Okay. Love it, love it, love it. It's going to need a good cleaning. Hey, before I forget, I'm giving away some of my excess inventory. I'm starting with a few cheap pedals here and there. All you got to do is head over to GToneGuitars.com. It's going to be the first post stickied up, and the first pedal I'm giving away is a Pogo Lab distortion pedal. You can enter different ways. All you got to do is enter your email address. I'll notify you if you're the winner. There's a couple of other ways to get additional entries by watching a video or liking a Facebook page. My Facebook page, of course. Head over to GToneGuitars.com. Check out the giveaways. I'm going to keep those rolling on a constant basis, so once this one's over, there'll be another one coming up. So the Silvertone brand has been around forever. I know it's a Sears and Roebuck brand. Came out in the 1915, 1916 era. And Silvertone was the brand that Sears plastered on all their electronic items at the time, which probably consisted of organs and, was there phonographs? And maybe ukuleles too. I'm not sure. You can look it up. But it was a Sears brand forever and ever and ever. And I'm not sure who was making them during the Sears era, because I'm sure Sears wasn't making them. Whatever factories were making the Harmony guitars probably made the Silvertone guitars too. I don't know that for sure. What I do know is after the Sears days, it went to Samick guitars, and some Silvertones are labeled Silvertone by Samick, but there's a whole era of Samick guitars, I believe, from like the 70s up to the present, although I'm not sure if it's still the case in the present. But I am fairly certain that these three right here are most likely Samick era guitars, 70s and forward, but not the true Sears era. Made in Indonesia, and I believe that was the case with all of these. They were made in Indonesia. Bass guitar doesn't have a sticker. Silvertone is a recognized brand that's been around forever. Given that there's no Silvertone factory and Samick's making these, I had to look up Samick and see what other brands they made, and I'll tell you what, it blew my mind. They've made so many different brands of guitars that I'm sure you've played one. If I've done my editing correctly, there's a list of those brands scrolling right in front of my face right now. It is incredibly huge. So Samick is putting out some good instruments. These Silvertones have proven to me in the past that they are good instruments. They are budget instruments for sure, but they are quality budget instruments that are easy to play. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with these two new Silvertones, adding them to my Silvertone family. My first bass guitar. Actually, it is my first bass guitar. I've never bought a bass for myself. Silvertone bass guitar, another Silvertone Strat, which is going to get some humbucker-sized P90s in it. Fun times, fun times. But I'm going to close the video here. We will pick up with these in another video when I'm doing the restorations. So I want to thank you for joining me today to hear a little bit about the Silvertone brand and why I like it so much. So until next time, take care of yourself. Take a look at Goodwill and pick up a Silvertone or two. Peace. The end. Goodbye. Goodbye.